All right, Forza Faithful, we are back live, driving as we used to do per usual last year. And it is Saturday, March 9th, and we are really cooking on the throwing circle. I'm really excited about it, if you can't tell. We are in, I guess, the final stages, and this is all new to me. So we're in like the final stages of edits and like really getting set to send everything off to the copy editor. So just to kind of like share a timeline of how long this process actually takes. The pitch and the contract was signed in April of 23. I produced a 63-page short story of Lewis and I, our freshman year together, his freshman year together, my first year at NAS, with basically just like the highlights and the lowlights of what it was like to coach at NAS my first year and how Lewis's season basically progressed and the conversations that we had and the engagement and just life in general, right? As he and I growing and building our relationship together. And that in turn developed into a conversation with the editor and the publishing, or content editor, copy editor, new terms for me, in regard to, well, we need a little bit more depth as far as like your background, and we want the whole picture. We want all of Lewis's college career, post-collegiate career, and how you came to into coaching, right? So like my backstory. So a few edits later, a few months later, a 63-page document turns into a 203-page document. Times New Roman, 12-point font, single space. So we went into a lot of detail. From there, we cut it down to 183 pages in the early fall. And going back and forth with headings and going more in depth with what the strategies are and how to be a better coach for those that are going to read the book, that are not track coaches per se, but just working with athletes and really trying to enhance the quality of their interactions. And now we are down to kind of crunch time. So they're really self-imposed timelines for myself. The content editor and the copy editor, they're pretty good about like flexible timelines. So with my job, really, the only time I can write is in the evening. So I can't just sit all day and type and work, really. So we are in the process of finishing up strategies and really going into more detail about the situations that happened between Lewis and I throughout his collegiate career at NAS, with some sidebar strategies, tips, tricks, suggestions that coaches can incorporate regardless of what sport they coach, whether it's football, baseball, basketball, hockey, tennis, golf. All of the mindset strategies, the goal setting strategies, the focus strategies, the purposeful practice, the deliberate practice, everything that I talk about throughout the whole course of the book is summed up in small snippets and sidebar content within the chapters. And I'm really excited about that because I've read a lot of books in the past that incorporate that similar type of like strategy, as far as like, here's a chapter, this is a strategy that coaches can incorporate. This is a chapter, this is the strategies that coaches can incorporate. What's so cool about this, it's going to be in the moment of track meets, basically. So Lewis and I, sophomore year, he threw at ECACs for the first time in the weight. And we had a plan in place. And as we were warming up, we knew that that plan wasn't going to be as fruitful for us. So we basically kind of tried to make changes on the fly. And I learned that with him, that's not going to work. We have to stick to the plan. So more purposeful content, I think, for coaches as far as how they can better engage in the heat of the moment, in the competition, in whatever is happening, to best provide their athletes, those opportunities to be successful. And I think, and that's really what the sum of the book is, right? Like, it's not just a story about Lewis and I in track and field in his coaching career. The backdrop is track and field, right? Because that's just a sport that I know. Lewis was a great athlete. That's the backdrop. In the foreground, really what we're talking about is how coaches can better engage with their athletes, regardless of the sport, in order to help them improve their athletes' performance. That's basically it. With the backdrop of track and field, and with the strategies and tips and tricks that are universal, that anybody can incorporate, that are really easy to digest. They come in very short, less than 250 word snippets that I think makes it easier for the reader to understand, and certainly, according to the copy editor, has made for a more engaging story. So the goal for today, March 9th, is to get that all wrapped up, and we're going to send it off this afternoon. And I'm really excited about it. I'm really excited about sharing this story, sharing all of the intimate details of, just how Lewis and I worked together, how we went from a 33-foot weight thrower his freshman year to a 67-foot weight thrower his senior year, national champion, All-American, school record holder, conference record holder, post-collegiate success, two-time USATF indoor weight throw qualifier, competitor, making the finals, Puerto Rican national record holder in the weights, Puerto Rican national record holder. So I'm just really, really, really excited to share this story. I hope everybody else is really excited to learn more about this. And, just really for any of the other coaches that are going to read it, that are not, track enthusiasts or are throwing enthusiasts or any of the sort, the story of two people coming together and a coach learning alongside their athlete to best provide the best experience for that athlete. And I think that's really what we all want as coaches. I think we all really want what's best for our kids. And this narrative, the throwing circle, set to the backdrop of track, hopefully is going to provide those coaches those opportunities to better engage, better be present, and better be able to help their athletes get where they want to go.